Mr. Hitler, if you think we're on the run. We are the boys who will stop your little game. We are the boys who will make you think again. 'Cause who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done? Mr. Brown goes off to town on the A21, but he comes home each evening and he's ready with his gun. So who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, if you think old England's done?
I've got an idea, sir. Why don't you get one of us inside a dummy log, and then we can float down the river till we get to the mill, and that should do the trick.
Yes, that sounds rather a good idea, Walker. The only thing is that somebody would have to push the log, and I don't think any of us could stay underwater for that length of time.
We'll get someone in a diving suit to push the log.
Diving suit? Don't be absurd. Who's got a diving suit?
I've got a diving suit.
You have? How did you come by that?
It happened when I was in the South Seas with a friend of mine, Wally Stewart. We were diving for pearls. Well, one day he was down below doing the job and I was up on deck with the native boys working the pumps. And suddenly I felt 4 pulls on his lifeline. That means haul me up. I knew there was trouble. So I looked down and see out there's as clear as crystal. And there was Wally fighting for his life with a giant squid. I never hesitated. I dived down and down into the depths, and I plunged my knife between those 2 hideous eyes. My lungs were bursting, a red mist before my eyes. The sea was black with the inky liquid from the squid. I gave the signal, and they quickly pulled Wally up. When I got him on deck, I unscrewed his helmet, and then I realized they'd pulled him up too quickly. He was dying from the dreaded bend. I cradled him in my arms, and he gazed up at me and said, "Joe, look after my poor old mother. See that she gets all my property." Well, all he had was his diving suit, and it was no use to her, so I gave her 10 bob and kept it. Every time after that, whenever I went down in that diving helmet, I could hear poor Wally's voice crying.
So, we take it you have a diving suit.
I mind the time, many, many years ago, on the furthest point of the Western Isles, 2 brave lighthouse keepers were marooned. Their stair had collapsed, and they were cut off, just like us. Well, they were up there for 2 long months. And in the end, they decided there was only one way to get down.
And what was that?
To dismantle the lighthouse, brick by brick.
I don't think that's a very sensible suggestion, Frazer.
Well, maybe not, but you see, sir, don't forget, they'd been up there for so long that, well, they'd both gone quite mad. Did you hear what I said, Captain Mannering? Mad. Mad? Mad!
Now, if you want to hear a true story,
It was in the last war during the Battle of Jutland. I was down below when we were struck by a torpedo and badly holed. The water was rushing in, so I ducked quickly. I tore off my jacket, shoved it in the hole. That wasn't enough. I tore off my trousers and shoved them in the hole. That wasn't enough. Then I tore off my shirt and my underpants and shoved them in the hole. Still no good. So I tore off my socks and shoved them in the hole. And that did the trick.
Hence the expression, put a shock in it.
We're entombed. I mind the time when I was a wee bit laddie on the lone Isle of Barra. A submarine got sunk in Castle Bay, and 7 brave men were trapped in it. The water got higher and higher and higher until it got up to their necks. And then... terrible way to die.
Put a sock in it!
If only Mr. Mannering had put a curse on him.
A curse? How can he put a curse on anybody?
I've seen it done, eh?
When?
Nigh on 50 years ago, when I was trading coral in the South Seas with a friend of mine.
Was that the one that got eaten by a squid?
No, son. This is a different friend. Jethro, his name was. One day, we were anchored off a wee island, about 20 miles west of Samoa. And Jethro told me that he'd heard that there was a ruined temple in the center of the island with a huge idol that had a ruby the size of a duck's egg set in its forehead. She was determined to get it. So as soon as it was dark, we rowed ashore, armed to the teeth, and set off through the jungle to find the temple. After about 2 hours hacking our way through the undergrowth, we came to a clearing. There was the temple, the ruined temple, covered with jungle creepers. The place was deserted. We crept inside, and there it was. A huge idol with a great ruby in its forehead. As the shafts of moonlight struck down through the holes in the roof, it burned like fire. Jethro gave a cry of triumph, jumped up on the idol, and hacked the ruby out of its forehead with his knife. All this time, I could feel eyes, horrible unseen eyes, staring at us. I could stand it no longer. I shouted, "Let's get out!" And we turned to go, and then we saw it. Barring our way in the doorway was the witch doctor. He gave a scream that turned my blood to ice. He shook a bunch of bones in Jethro's face, and he cursed him. After all these years, I can still hear that terrible curse. "Death!" he screamed. "Death! The ruby will bring you death! Death!"
Did the curse come true, Mr. Frazer?
My son is dead. He died. Last year, he was 86.